Hi, Aquarius. I love saying Aquarius like that. Welcome to your 2019 Energy Soul Forecast. I'm Princess India. If you're new, welcome. If you are a long-time subby, hello again, my friend. If you are not subscribed, you're more than welcome to subscribe, but you don't have to. It's a free world. Use your free will as you wish. But if you are a subby, if you don't have your little notification ding ding turned on, I would suggest that you do that. Because after I finish these 2019 readings, you guys' January reads will be up next. So don't want to miss that. But anything that you need to know is in the description box below this video. But we're going to go ahead and jump into your reading. I'm using all major arcana. And what I'm going to be doing is taking a look at the energies via the spiritual lessons that will be prevalent for Aquarius in 2019. I'm also going to look at catalytic energies. I really need to look up if that's a word. Not sure if it is, but sounds right, so I'm going with it. But catalytic energies, as well as subconscious influences, as well as things that will be coming into your awareness this year. And then we're going to end this reading out with a message from Spirit from my deck of Universal Truths. A little meditative mantra, if you will. So we're going to go ahead and attune with your energies and with Spirit. And we're going to ask Spirit to give us clear and direct guidance for Aquarius, please, Spirit, for 2019. I ask that you give me the ability to convey to them clear and direct messages that are for their highest good, that will assist them and aid them in their overall growth and evolution in 2019. Messages that will give them optimism and that will give them hope entering this new year. And I thank you in advance, Spirit, because I know you're good for it, because you always are. All right, let's see what is going on for my Aquarians for 2019. I feel excited. It's a good thing. But this video will be a tool or resource that you guys could utilize throughout the year. So whatever it is that you guys have set in mind for 2019, if ever you find yourself getting discouraged or feeling kind of, disheveled, I'm going to create a playlist that's just of the forecasts, because it's not really a forecast. It's more or less tools to assist you in your path this year. So you can always come back and revisit it later on. So we have your central spiritual lesson, challenged by your catalyst, your subconscious influence, and what will be coming into your awareness in 2019. So for your overall spiritual lesson, we have the Death card. Your catalyst is the Hermit. Ooh. First thing that I heard is dying to self. Now, when we talk about dying to self, we're talking about dying to the inauthentic self. If you have Sagittarius anywhere in your chart, you may... Wow, my tummy's growling. It's not good. But anyway, it's not good for a Taurus. Anyway. But if you have Sagittarius anywhere in your chart, and even if you don't, it would be helpful to watch the Sagittarius reading, because I went into that in great depth and actually even spoke of the Hermit. So I do feel like there probably is a great deal of you that do have Sagittarius somewhere up in there, But anywho, so the overall challenge for you guys this year and the energy that you're going to be experiencing is dying to yourself, in the sense of dying to the false self. Now, not necessarily saying or inferring that this is going to be a painful process in any way, shape, form, or fashion. It's more or less Spirit revealing and unearthing things that become very clear to you that you're no longer in alignment with. That could manifest as questioning, choices you've made, decisions you've made, why you're going about life the way that you are, or just simply just falling out of agreement with certain things, right? So first person that comes to my mind, I think about my Reiki master, right? the person that I studied under. And I remember he was telling me about when he decided to become vegan. It wasn't like a weaning process or anything of the sort. It's just one day he woke up and he was completely repulsed by any meat or dairy product, right? And it's like even when he would try to eat it, he just could not bring himself to eat it, right? So it's kind of something like that. It's kind of where, or, some people who smoke cigarettes who just woke up one day and were just like, I don't do this anymore. Like, this just doesn't vibe with me. This doesn't gel with me. So it's not necessarily something that's a forceful action or something that you're battling with. I feel it's almost as if, and this is kind of a gross reference, but it's like things that are no longer serving you will fall off of you guys like an old scab. Yeah, sorry for the visual there. But I'm more or less seeing it that way. Now, the challenge is going to be you guys seeing or descending into the self. So how Spirit is showing it to me is, so this is kind of like a heads up, so to speak. So there's going to be things that are going to be falling off in your life. And say if you hadn't listened to this, you wouldn't understand either why you're just, I don't like this job anymore, this isn't for me, or why do I suddenly want to be vegan, or why do I feel like I don't connect with these people anymore, and so on and so forth. The challenge with that is as those things fall away is not to just take it for face value and just be like, okay, whatever, or to go into straight your mental space trying to rationalize it. It's more or less descending into the self, going within, and not necessarily like rummaging through the self for the answers, but allowing them, right? So it's, you wake up and you don't want to eat meat anymore. It's not, why don't I want to eat meat anymore? It's like, that doesn't make any sense, right? It's just sitting with it. It's setting that intention of inquiry of saying, Spirit, what's going on here? Like, what does this mean? What are you trying to show me? And I always say starting with 5 minutes a day of just sitting with the self to get acquainted with yourself. And it's not in a sense of urgency, like, trying to get those answers, but it's allowing them, right? And getting comfortable with that. So that's your process of the hermit. So anytime something in your life ends, it's more or less entering this reflective state and allowing for the deeper meaning or the explanation, so to speak, or the deeper spiritual truth behind that ending to be revealed to you, right? Or even, not even just endings, but allowing that re-identification to reveal itself to you. So that's going to require a great deal of non-attachment. So trying not to control the situation. It's allowing things to pass away, knowing that there's a higher truth to it, and being open and willing to receive that higher truth, right? So our subconscious influence is intuition. So a lot of the things, this is really funny. A lot of the things you guys are going to experience, like I described with the hermit and the death card, is because Spirit is trying to work your intuition muscles. So the whole thing is to not try to use, logic or rationale to get to the bottom of something. But it's like Spirit is coaching you guys on how to listen to the depth of your soul to reveal those answers, which is a super dope resource. If you think about a university library and like all of the resources that are in there, compared to your intuition, it has nothing on it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so it's you guys attuning to that all-knowing, all-seeing, all-being, infinite knowledge of the great divine mind, that of which is Spirit, right? So it's tapping into the wisdom that sits behind the veil of the high priestess, right? So it's almost sitting at her feet and becoming, or sitting under her tutelage, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's you becoming a student of intuition and flexing that muscle so that can become the central force upon which you operate, which gives you power and dominion over your life. So the important thing to note here so far for my Aquarians is that as things end in your life, as things transition, as things fall away, or you just fall out of agreement with certain things, the challenge is going to be to go into your proverbial cave, the inner temple, and to commune with the high priestess, to rely less on logic and external explanations for things, and to become more acquainted with that inner intuitive truth and higher divine wisdom about things, so that that can become the foundation upon which your life operates, right? Which, like I said, gives you a great deal of power and dominion over your experiences, right? So what's coming into your awareness is the Star. I love that everyone is getting this. Isn't that the card for Aquarius? I think so. But anywho, what's coming into your awareness, what's slowly going to be revealed to you in 2019 is yet another facet, if not the totality, of your authentic self. It's becoming, as you spend time in this intuitive space, in your proverbial cave, is almost, this is a really weird example, but it's almost like dating your higher self. You know what I'm saying? It's like in that silence, in that quiet, you allow him or her to speak. You allow them to introduce themselves. You get to know their nature and their essence and, you know, their highest desires, which are the best desires for your life because your higher self is attuned with spirit. So the only agenda that the higher self has is to commune with you to manifest the highest energy of all, that of which is love, right? And that manifests in different ways. There's also a great deal of an influence about your calling as well that's going to become very clear to you this year. And something I learned with Aquarius, which why this totally makes sense, because Aquarius is in my mid-haven, heaven, whatever it's called. And I was told that with Aquarius, like in your 10th house, that a great deal of the work that you do is in relation to others and the healing and growth of others, right? And it's intuitive, psychic kind of stuff, right? So seeing this coming into your awareness, I feel that you guys' calling is slowly going to start to become more and more clear to you. And another thing about it was that non-resistance energy, as they were saying that it's more or less Aquarius following those intuitive flows and hits that lead them to where it is that they're supposed to be. So, and I think, like, I don't know. This is what Spirit is telling me right now. I literally have no idea. I can't say that it's not accurate because, you know, you know more than I do. But what I am hearing is that Aquarius has a tendency to rely a great deal on the intellect, on, you know, logic and, I guess like science and 1 + 1 = 2 type of things, right? So it's kind of counterintuitive, but very necessary to almost put this intellect and logic that you guys have relied on for majority of your lives, of putting that on the back burner to rely more on the unseen. But what you will come to realize by the end of 2019 is that the wisdom, the knowledge of the high priestess, the ethereal knowingness supersedes any form of human logic, right? It kind of cuts through everything. And by the end of this year, you guys will see the power, the authority, and the pricelessness in this infinite wisdom, right? So now we are going to take a gander at you guys' spiritual message from Spirit, spiritual messages from Spirit for 2019. Spirit, anything that Aquarius needs to know that will serve their highest good. And as I stated, these are your little meditative mantras. Feel free to write them down and meditate on them. You don't have to. Whatever you feel led to do, listen to your intuition, dagnabbit son of a gun. But anywho, anything that Aquarius needs to know, Spirit, that will assist in their growth, evolution, and highest good, please, Spirit. What message does Aquarius need to know going into 2019? This card stock is really bad. It's paper thin, man. Paper thin. Probably because it's paper. Buh! Buh. Okay. I don't know what to do with that. This one turned face up. But how many is this? Goodness. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jeez, that's a lot. I think we're going to take the one that went face up. Okay, so it says, in the true order of things, one does not do something in order to be happy. One is happy, and hence does something. One does not do some things in order to be compassionate. One is compassionate, and hence acts in a certain way. The soul's decision precedes the body's action in a highly conscious person. Wow. That is legit. That was definitely the one that was supposed to fall out. That is exactly what I've described here, guys. You guys descending with the hermit into this intuitive space, into the highest truth about things, is thus, and this is why I say watching Sagittarius's reading would be of great help to you, is because I talked about with the Hermit card how we're looking at things from that 3D perspective of that, you know, black and white, this is better than this, or this is what's worthy, this is what's not. It's like those checks and balances of the external world, right? But the hermit descends into the lower self to confront the inner demon, or to uncloak the wounded inner child, to set them free so that they can ascend back to this realm with a more integrated, bondage-free, and not egoless, you know what I mean? But having the ego under submission, because you don't want to kill off your ego, because then you would literally lose who you are as a person. So ego death is like, you know, a metaphor, right? We're not literally trying to kill the ego, because then you would just be a person that's bumbling in a corner somewhere. But anyway, so the ego is needed, but it's integrating them in a balanced way, right? And it's now having this different higher perspective. And this card literally is the explanation of how one, you know, can do nothing and accomplish everything, because it's not in your doingness, right? Because the intellect is based on the doingness, right? But spiritual truth, or manifesting your higher self, like the star card, your essence in this realm, is more weighed on your beingness. And because you are being, you can't help but do. You know what I mean? What is in alignment with what it is that you are being. So, my wonderful Aquarius person, that has been your 2019 soul focus. That sounds so funny to me. That hit me last night. But anyway, stay tuned for your January reading, my dear. It has most certainly been a pleasure, and I hope to see you sooner than later. Deuces.